Hey everybody, it's Kelly Sue with Cleopatra Arts. Ooh, these glasses are dirty. I know it's the weekend, but we are going to be going out of town for a couple days to celebrate Sabrina and finishing school. I'm just taking a couple days to honor her. So I wanted to come on and paint the last part of the gnome box so we can start letting people get a sneak peek of what it is. Plus, sometimes people have questions on how to paint the beard. So as you get on, let me know you're here. I'm gonna start showing you what we have. The gnome box this month is like our ladder. It's a tile display, except it's super cute. All I did was I used a stain, and it is the dark walnut bear stain that I kind of stole from Christy P. And then I sanded the edges just to make it look antique-y, but you can just do that with gold paint. And then the first tile I did finish it, super cute. This is what makes it a gnome. And it just goes right in there. And I'm gonna paint the top one right now with you guys. And when you wanna switch them out, all of our ladder inserts fit this guy. You're just gonna pop them out and switch them out. So we're really excited to offer that this month. Hopefully you really like it. Yay. Gnomes are great. This one has a tremendous amount of detail. I would suggest 20 minutes to paint this guy. Took me 45 minutes, but I wasn't sure about the color choices on him. And I'm hoping that this guy, I can finish in about a half an hour. Why? Because like I said, we're trying to get out of town. So let me know what you're doing this weekend, if you're doing anything fun. Let me just log on super quick so I can see your comments. Whoop. Okay, so I decided, so anyway, I could leave this in here. For the top one, I'm going to do a cream background. That way the shiplap just really, really shows. Okay, it's not even showing me that I'm live, and I know I'm live because I see you guys. There it is. Just needed a refresh. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it down first. Woohoo! So this is our gnome box. If you don't know what that is, can I comment on that or no? Sometimes I have to write something in order to see something. So go ahead and leave your comments. The gnome box isn't available yet. We open it every other month for new members. So September 1st, it'll be available. And, but you could get on the wait list, meaning, you know, you're the first to know. Woohoo, look at you. Okay, so I'm gonna take our cream, which I make, and I made it a little bit too on the brown side of things. So I'm gonna add some white to it. I'm looking for my toothpicks. Okay, so where did Sabrina wanna go for her special trip, which is interesting. Sydney wanted to go to the Mediterranean, and so we saved for years and we took her on a cruise. And Sean didn't get to go anywhere because he got screwed because he was a COVID baby. And we probably owe him something. So this is a great cream right now, but it's a little too dark for what I want to do. And then Sabrina wants to she likes Disney. She wants to go to Disney for a couple days. So we're working furiously, trying to get everything done so we could take a day or two and do that. She's a mouse lover. I know. And I'm not gonna say no to Mickey Mouse at any time. I really like to. Hey Karen, how are you? I feel like we haven't been able to catch you on lives lately. And maybe you have, and maybe I just miss it because I'm not normally the one that is the moderator, I guess is what you call it. So, but you must have been busy with life. How exciting is that? So I'm moving kind of quickly on the background because before it dries, I want to take a pointed toothpick and pick out my shiplap lines. Just kind of pick them out. And typically I would give this 2 coats. Hello. There they are, way over there. I'm just gonna leave them out because I know I use them. You just want to pull them out. If they fill with paint and the paint dries, then this step isn't as easy to do. You can still see the etching where the gnome goes. I love that. So I started painting him, and I painted his hat to match the background in the first tile. And then I thought, well, I really should be doing this live with you guys because I won't be able to do a recording on Monday. And then it's nice to have a resource for people in our gnome box if they have any questions on how to do anything. So that's gonna dry, and I'm gonna give it probably a second coat. So I'm thinking non-traditional on the pumpkins because they're more like gourds. So I know that I like our burnt sugar, and we have a recipe on how to make that on our YouTube channel. It's a short, so it's like a 30-second video. Hey Shelly, how are you doing, girl? I can't believe your son is 21 now. I can't believe it. That's crazy to me. So I'm just gonna make this yellowish straw color, pretty much the same color as the hat on the first gnome, because it's a gourd. And watch the replay. Did you drive to Disney? How long is the drive? Oh, Karen, I did not drive to Disney, though I've done it before from Missoula, and which is about 3 hours east of us here. And for some reason, Spokane, I'd probably go over to Seattle and down, where in Missoula it was kind of more of a diagonal, and that was only 20 hours to San Diego. So Anaheim was just a little further than that. No, we didn't drive. We got some tickets to fly. John normally, I know it seems like I ride him like a rented mule, and he doesn't have anything to do but work in the workshop, but he has a day job. So his day job requires traveling, and typically we have some miles we can trade in. So that's what color I kind of went with. With the cream background, it'll really stand out, I think. Oh, Laura, thank you. Yeah, dogs make me really happy. And mostly I love crafters. There's not really any crafters I've met that I haven't loved, but other people, you know, yep. Okay, you know, so there's this guy on Instagram, and he's just a redneck. He's just a redneck, and he's definitely finding his thing, but I love him because he gets on there and he's like, well, I like people. Well, I try to like people, but then they talk and then they breathe and stuff, you know, and so I just find that so funny. It's completely John. I love people quite a bit more than John, but sometimes, you know, it's like, dogs are just easier. They're just not so difficult. Maybe that's my age showing, I'm not sure. But thank you. Where did I get this hat? You know where I bought this hat is in Rockford, on the way to Colfax. There's a little restaurant there called the Harvest Moon. They recently sold. They're now barbecue. But I was teaching paint parties there, and I'd like to support the people when I'm teaching paint parties. Right now these don't look great, but they're gonna look great, trust me. Art is great, helps stress a lot. Glad I finally, oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you so much. You know what, and who recently just, they were like, I'm distressing, I'm doing crafts. They just told me, and they shared me their story, and it was such a great story. And we love that we're helping you guys all relax most of the time. Sometimes when there's some of those new tiered trays, there's like 80 pieces. I know I'm not relaxed when I'm putting them on a board, and I like to kind of glue dot things or use tape so that they're kind of all together. I've received crafts before that were like saran wrap together, and when you open them up, they just go everywhere, and we try really hard not to have that be your experience with us. Though anything could happen, maybe low temperatures or high temperatures, the tape just isn't. We switched from glue dots to, what do you call it, scrapbooking tape. I'm not a scrapbooker, but a lot of you guys are scrapbookers, and one of you guys recommended it, and I was like, I'll try anything. The glue dots were kind of a pain in the butt. They were almost too strong, you know what I mean? And so the glue dots come in this little dispenser, and you just kind of like, and then you just put the stuff down. It takes a little longer, but we're excited. Okay, all right, so I'll probably get a video on how to make this color. A lot of times people want the exact same color as what I'm using, and you know, like I like to create my own colors based off of the paints that I have at home. I don't love to go to town because there's people people that aren't my people, anyway, ordering from Amazon, sometimes these little tiny bottles can be $8 instead of, you know, the $2. God intended them to be $2. And I typically make my own and fill a 4-ounce bottle. If you're a big crafter, this might be a good size for you. And I get like, I think 18 bottles off of Amazon and these are 4 ounces for, I wanna say $11. They're perfect, except for white. White, I have to have a bigger bottle. And I was putting them in larger squeeze bottles, like this size, but then I wasn't using them fast enough. So I'm a little bit of a Goldilocks on this. I finished a Halloween kit I ordered, and oh, thank you so much, Karen. I love that you that you shared. You let us see your good works. You guys, I know I try every day to do at least one painter spotlight, and a lot of my peers are like, why are you wasting your time doing that instead of showing product? And I'm like, it's not a waste of my time. This post is helping inspire other people. And in some ways it works like a product post because someone's like, I didn't know it could look like that, right? So it's very helpful when you post. See those yellows, they pop a little bit more. I'm thinking maybe I should make one. What do you guys think? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Maybe I should make one of these yellow gourds, either pumpkin-y. Give me a thumbs up if you think I should make one of these yellow gourds pumpkin-y. You know, orange. Excuse me. And I will get that done. I'll get that switched out. Okay, so I'm looking at him. There's a lot going on. He's got some 3D pieces. He's got a beard, 2 shoes, which are super cute. They're like the soles of his feet. 3 patches, a Fu Manchu, and some leaves, and a brim of a hat. So I was thinking the brim could probably be cream. All right, so I don't think anybody's responded. If I missed your thumbs up, go ahead and give it to me again. Otherwise, I'll leave these yellow. I was thinking if I made one orange, it'd help tie the other tile together with it, and it wouldn't be yellow, yellow, yellow. You know what I mean? But I can always change my mind later too. It's just paint, right? We're not using peach today. That's out of here. Maybe you guys want to use them on yours. Okay, so I'm gonna paint the background beard. And so this is the only thing I noticed was a little wonky about this particular project. Hey Hazel, is that, okay, that was bad. In the grand scheme of things, I got off lucky. I got off really lucky, you guys. My lid popped off. Okay. He's got a Fu Manchu and a nose. And so the beard is underneath that, and you just kind of have to search for it a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in. I like to paint it white or gray. Actually, I'm gonna go and do it a gray, a medium body gray. I prefer a silver fox for a gnome, but some of you guys might prefer a white beard. So I like to go ahead and put in highlights. I'm just gonna paint all the way to the bottom because the next piece, which does have some white splatter on it, fits over top. Okay, so this will work as a base coat for underneath. that was pretty simple. While I'm also working on the beard, I'm gonna attack my Fu Manchu and my nose, just get that all done at once. And I have this medium gray I made. I'm just getting it wet so that there's enough paint to go around. I'm seeing that that white splatter did kind of attack everything. Okay, so I'm just using that cream that I made that was a little bit intense for the hat. I may just paint it white. If nothing else, that'll make a good base coat for that. So a good old Saturday afternoon. A lot of people ask me, how do I make skin tone? You could literally use white and a dot of a brown that's warm, that's got some warm tones in it. And I'm talking like if you're very Caucasian, that would be how you go. And then you could add more brown for darker skin, and finally add a dot of brown, a black to it to deepen up the skin tone, because skin is not white or black or anywhere in between. It's kind of shades of cocoa or tea. But personally, lately I've been doing it the Shannon Bovey style. She's one of our painters here. In fact, she has a great tutorial she videotaped for us on how to do girl hair. I have my own way of doing it, but hers is so much, it's even more. If you're ready for the next step, go to Shannon. It's on our YouTube channel. And it just reads, you know, how to paint girl gnome hair. So yes, I have a salmon. It's called Pink Rose. Good grief. Help me out. And some orange, and sometimes I do add a little bit of brown for depth, and definitely white or cream. So here I go. I'm just gonna mix a little orange, a little pink, a dot of brown. If I need it, I might not need it. And then I have a pretty nice, oops, all you're seeing is the white. That's not quite mixed in. Pretty good skin tone, pretty close. If you're trying to match up color in your family, it's a nice warm color. But for years and years, all I did was mix white with different amounts of brown, and a reddish brown at that. So his hands are also the same color as his nose, I guess you hope. Okay. This one's going a lot faster. This one I kept feeling like it was just taking a really long time. And now I'm looking at his shirt, her shirt that I made kind of like gingham or checkered. And I'm thinking, does it look a little bit too much like a beard? Maybe I should have done a different color. Okay. I'm gonna have to think on that. While I have my big paintbrush out, I'm gonna go ahead and attack his feet. They're the bottom of his feet, so they're just gonna be black soles in my world. Now, this is gonna be just the first coat, so it'll be a little bit of a gray, because I just didn't clean my paintbrush out. And because they have a straight line across that's etched and I wanna keep it, I'm gonna take my pointed toothpick, and I'm going to just scrape that out so it's nice and clean. If you are on here making comments, I live in the country, I can't always see the comments. So when I'm done, I will comment. But if I am able to see your comment, I will. So next step, we're gonna paint the beard. I gave it a base coat of gray and his Fu Manchu. I'm gonna pull out my rake brush. What is a rake brush? It is a brush that's missing some little chinks in it. So it looks like a rake, hence the name. You can get a 3-pack from Amazon for like $8, and they're different sizes. This one is just the medium. It's the one that survived so far. So I need to probably order some more. And when I do, I can share the link with you guys. Again, I don't get, you know, I'm not affiliated or get, what do you call it, commission from Amazon. I'm just sharing what I like works. And the reason why is I'm too lazy to apply for that stuff. I'm over here busy painting. That's what I want to do. I want to paint with you guys. Okay, so before this dries, this is how this works. Okay, I'm gonna load up some black. It's kind of chunky, so I want to take some off. And while this paint is wet, I'm going to come down and add. I'm gonna go both directions. I don't really have enough paint on my paintbrush. These little bristly brush strokes. Okay, low blood sugar. I know I look like I don't miss many meals, but oh my gosh, I'm hungry. Okay, going down. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna stand up so you guys can see this. So I'm just getting most of it out. The gray's still wet. I'm gonna do it from the bottom. Just gonna put a whole bunch of brush strokes in there. It's gonna mix with the gray. The black is gonna mix with the gray. If you keep brushing, it's gonna blend. It's gonna make just one solid mid-tone gray color. Whoop. Okay, these ones are way more noticeable. So the way I like to do a beard is I like to do the base coat, put the what I call the messy strokes in, and then I'll come in with a paintbrush, fine tooth paintbrush, and put some detail work so that there's different layers of texture happening. Okay, also what you can do is you can go in with the white if you want. And anything that's really messed up, you can just go over it a little bit. Mine's just making, oh, it's Dudley. He's my grandpuppy. Just softens it up a little bit. Hey, Duddles. And it gives you a third color in there. There we go. Okay, let's let that dry. Easy peasy. Just giving my bottom of my feet one more coat. That worked out quickly, happened quickly. Okay, I have 3 leaves. There is a maple, the acorn one, oak, and a kind of looks birchy or aspeny with his hands. So if I painted them all one color, they would not stand out, but I want to give them a base coat of just a medium to light yellow, just as a base coat. So our limoncello is a good one. It has a primer in it. So I like to use it. Yellow can be the hardest color, sometimes orange too, just because it's so transparent, guys. The pigment's kind of wimpy. You can take a second and scratch out that detail work in the branches if you want, or in the leaves. Okay, so this is my sob story today and why I'm here. You guys are making me feel better. I spent 2 days, a couple hours each day, and then this morning a good 2 hours making, and I don't know what was taking me so long, I just wasn't getting it. Took me about 4 hours to make this gorgeous pumpkin and flower ornament for next week. So when we got back into town, we didn't have to design anything. We could just get up in the morning, start working, and do our live. Me and Sabrina's lives are on Thursdays. And just what I did the very last, it's like college all over again, the very last editing, the software crapped out, and I've lost this beautiful ornament that clearly was never meant to be. But I was pretty bummed, so I decided, you know, I'm just gonna come on and I'm gonna hang with you guys and boo-hoo-hoo me. And then you guys are like, big deal, who cares? It is kind of a big deal for us because, you know, I don't have a lot of time to design, and I really, really like to design. And so I do try to make 1 or 2 ornaments a week and then some inserts for our giant gift tag, because those are all us. Okay, I'm gonna do so I'm gonna do a red one. It'll be soft because the yellow is behind it. Clean up I'm kind of thinking that some are gonna be like bronzy and some are going to be gold, copper. This one needs to have some green in it, but not that green. Okay, so this is one of our green colors, and I like it. It's a little on the pastel-y side and a little on the gray side. Okay, so you could just leave it like that. There are 3 leaves. There you go. But I'm gonna come in with a sponge and I'm going to, well, maybe not a sponge, maybe I'll do a small paintbrush. Do some detail work on the side. So let me just use the edge of my paintbrush. I'm gonna make a crimson, a very deep burgundy, but with a dot of black and some red. And just come around the edge. I'm messy, I know, it's okay. You don't have to be messy with your work. And the center of this red is still a little, I don't know if you can see it, a little yellow, just a little bit. Maybe I'll come in. So typically I use our pumpkin putty for pumpkins. Oh, here's a leaf that's been done. It's got a yellow background, got some metallic on top. And you guys know I love the fluid acrylics, and this is priced pretty decent. This is a $5 or $6 bottle. Use a coupon code. But this is cadmium orange. It is bright. It's almost a neon. There you go. You're not going to need very much. So I'm just going to go in and brighten up my yellow just a little bit. Or I'm sorry, my orange. Just so it pops a bit. I'm sorry to say, I painted over my green. There we go. So the yellow that I first painted it, the base coat, it's still very visible underneath on mine. And I think I'm gonna do my edges. I'm gonna go in with a dot of black and some of our green. And I'm just going to smudge up the edge a little bit. Then I use my finger to take off any extra. Because I'm not afraid of getting dirty. I'll just wash my hands. Okay. Okay, so let me see, what do I have for metallics? I have a gold, works pretty good. My copper, oh I have, hold on a second, what did I do with it? My coppery copper is right here. It's very coppery. I prefer the Sargents typically, and then this one is Aztec Gold. You hear me complain about it all the time, but in the fall, it's my go-to. It's not super gold, it's not super coppery. It's Aztec Gold. Super funny. Okay, it's just a great one. So it's kind of in between, and I'm just gonna dry off my brush and go in. I think on my orange one, yep, the orange one for sure. That's the one I'm gonna use. That. Didn't brush it everywhere, just on the edges. Don't feel bad if you're like, I can't see, doesn't make any sense. I'm not seeing any adjustment or anything. The paint needs to cure. Okay, so I'm gonna use the gold on the green, I think. So what do I mean by that? So the metallic sheen's not gonna show until the paint does what the paint does. And that typically would be in 10 or 12 hours. So it has to dry and then it has to cure. Hey Kay, how you doing? You know what? You can pick up the last no box and this no box at the same time, girl. Right? Save you a trip. Okay, so I'm just brushing on my edges some of this copper. Okay, there we go. So we just kind of made it muddled, that kind of thing. If you're just joining and you have no idea what I'm doing, this is our gnome box for September. And if you're not in it, you should be in it because it's a really good price and it's every other month. Why? Because we want you to finish your projects, have time to finish. This is a, we kind of like our ladder. It's a tile holder, but this one is super cool. I stained my edges, or I stained it and then sanded my edges carefully. And you'll get 2 tiles. And all the tiles that we get, that's not right, have that fit the tile ladder will fit this. So when you're like, I'm done with fall. And then we'll make sure that we always have some gnomes that you can add in for the other seasons if you want. Okay, here we go. And it's just nice to give you options for the gnome box. Like, you know, you guys have been clear. You don't want a tier tray. Tier trays, way too small pieces for a lot of y'all. And you just don't love them. So then we started doing a lot of the standing ones. And after a while, you're like, let's give something else. And so that's when we came up with, let's offer this one. Okay, loving it. Okay, so now I need 2 patches. And then I just need to fix my Fu Manchu. And I think I saw that one person wanted me to repaint one of the pumpkins orange. And I agree, I think it'll help. It'll help, you know, match or marry the color that's in the second tile. So I would get on the wait list for our gnome box. It's $24.99, it's not that expensive. It's every other month. You get this great project that we don't let anybody else have these tiles until next year. Hopefully I won't sit down and forget that I'm moving my chair. But you should have seen me on the hammock last night, so there's no promises. Okay. Oh yeah, Kay, sounds good. Hey, hey. I got it. Okay, so honestly, Kay, I am going out of town for a couple days this week, but they're ready. And if you were gonna drive by or something, let me know in the next 24 hours. I'll put them on my porch. Okay, so I think that looks better anyway, and it helps tie in. Let me show you what I have so far. It helps tie in the top tile with the bottom tile because we have the 2 yellows, we have the 2 oranges. It's not completely matchy-matchy, which is great because that's not me at all, but there's some symmetry, right? That's what I'm trying to say, is symmetry. Sometimes words come out and I go, that's just not right. Okay, ta-da. All right, so I think in the hat, I should also have an orange one. Doom, 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 doom. And so I'm looking at all the colors I've used, and there's this interesting color that I really like that's in one of my paint pens. I'm afraid that it might, I don't want to do, okay, you know what, I'll do the yellow. I'll do that funky yellow. If you weren't here before, I'm just mixing a deep yellow with our burnt sugar to make that straw looking yellow that we have. Okay, so everything's painted. And I just need to put some strands in his Fu Manchu and his beard. Ta-da! So I'm just gonna do that. So in his beard, we have some texture. I know it looks messy and it's okay. I do like myself like a silver fox. I do. But now it's messy, but I'm gonna go in with a fine paintbrush and a little bit of watered down paint and put in some little curly cues and stuff just for detail work. So I made sure I didn't get water up under the ferrule because when that happens, it drips out unexpectedly and ruins your work. Like, yeah, you know what? Okay, so I'm coming in here So it's easier to do on a paper plate because the cardboard sucks up the moisture. It's just hard for us to keep paper plates in stock around here. Started keeping the small ones so that the basement dwellers wouldn't take them all the time. Okay, so first round is some black curlicues, little squiggly lines. And if you get some in there and you maybe were overly anxious and you put 3 billion, it's okay. We're gonna come in with some watered down white. And this is where you can, break it up a little bit. If your white isn't showing as much as you want it to, which I'm kind of running into that, this is where you pull out the Liquitex. It's a really highly pigmented, and you can water it. So what's happening is as I'm adding a little bit of water to the paint, it's reducing its pigmentation. It's making it too light. You don't really get that happening too much when you're using fluid acrylic. Ta-da-da. Okay, so I'm gonna come in. Oop, right here. I forgot where I was going. And I do have dedicated videos on how to paint the gnome. Okay, any gnome. Okay, so I'm just gonna, while I have that pigmented white, just gonna add some flowy little highlights to my gourds. This one was way quicker for me to paint. Honestly, the other one took way too much time. It took me a while to pick out my color palette. Okay, let's start attaching. And typically I would go in and I would put a second coat of cream on, but I kind of like that it's a little rustic. All right, so my glue. I like the glue that I like. You like the glue that you like. So let me and I pour my glue into these 4-ounce bottles because I have my reasons, okay? All right, super fun. I can't wait for you guys to all see this and get it. You're gonna love this project. And the fact that you can reuse part of the project all year long, it makes me happy. It makes me happy that you can get another use out of it. I'm afraid that this brim is going to be too much like his nose color, honestly. So I'm going to go in here and paint it white one more time. Whew, what did you guys have for lunch? I'm pretty hungry right now. We got a saying in my house, don't paint hungry. I'm just sipping on some iced tea. All right, that'll be fun. Okay. Why am I using a toothpick? I don't want to over glue the pieces. Right? Okay. Let me just check out the Fu Manchu. What I probably did was make is that right? Yep, okay. So I want to point out right away that the Fu Manchu is fine just the way it is. But if you're looking for yours to stand out a little bit, let's put a little shading on the side. You can do it with a Q-tip and some watered down black. Sometimes I like to take a damp sponge. And this is just Distressed ink pad. It's Tim Holtz, right? Or is it Tim or Jim Holtz. And I just want to show you, it's pretty intense, but that's why I use the damp sponge and I take part of it off. And I could have just done this to all of it. It would have been helpful. Honestly, I'm going to do my pumpkins. Just give them a little shading on the side. It'll help. Bandit. I didn't think of it. I was just so excited to get it done. Okay, that'll help. Okay, so now, let me just place that in. So now they have some shading to the edges and they stick out. They're a little bit more noticeable. The Fu Manchu. So funny. All right, okay. Then I'm just looking at my etching to find out how we line these puppies up. Okay, it looks like that. I might do some last minute touch-ups when this dries. Okay, so my kids, hold on, let me talk to Sabrina. There we go. There we go. Now she knows. Okay, it looks like my hands are messy, but guess what? They're not, because I have hands that go on the messy hands. And you could definitely do some shading on this if you wanted to. There's even a brown one. The brown ones, oh, there's a darker brown. There's a warm brown and a dark brown. I think I'll just use the black. There we go. This one I'm gonna do before I pop them on there. Oop, almost went into the paint. There we go. And then his feet. Oop. Excuse me. Okay, so to go to Disneyland, we splurged and we got our feet done last night at this place I really like to go. I really love them. But the lady who did my feet, she coughed the whole time. The whole time. And now I'm like, I'm sneezing. I can't be sneezing. I can't be sneezing. Okay. It's starting to look really cute, guys. I just have to do the patches. I should have, hold on, before I do the patch, I should go around the edge. Some shading on the hat. Oh, nuts. I just got some of my shaded finger on the backboard. You can just pretend that was there the whole time. The whole time. I'm gonna have to touch it up. Darn it. It's like dinner and a show today. We'll touch it up. It's just paint. We've got this. I don't have any wet wipes over here, so that's part of the issue. And then I spilled the paint everywhere, again, part of the issue. The lid popped off. It'll just look like whitewash on top of aged wood, which is awesome. That's exactly what I was going for. Okay. So there is some detail on the hat, on the patches, that I'm probably gonna want to hit. But I wanna show you really quick what this looks like before I do that. Okay, I know I said don't go past, but I did a little bit and it still works. Super cute. I hope you like them. I'm gonna do some detail work and then post a photo of what it looks like. This is September's Gnome Box, and this is gonna be a great resource for our members to watch if they needed help painting this guy. Thanks for watching today. We'll be slow to respond this next week as we're taking Sabrina on her graduation trip. It's just a couple days. We'll be back in town on Wednesday. So they're working really hard to put out boxes today, and we'll pack all the boxes that we have remaining for Monday, and my son will take them to the post office. So we're really just missing shipping for 2 days, but we'll work really hard when we get back. And thanks for your patience. Bye guys.